Come and see what everyone's talking about.
La ilaha illallah. Allah, there's only one God and Jesus was his messenger. Allah, la ilaha
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, assalamu alaikum, which means peace be unto you. Welcome to another episode of The Deen Show. We'd like to thank everybody who's been viewing us every week. We're excited to get a lot of your emails. We try to encourage people to send us your comments and suggestions. Some of the questions that are more scholarly questions, the fiqh questions, we ask that you don't send us those because I'm not a scholar. And some of the questions that we encourage are from non-Muslims, people wanting to know about Islam. What does Islam mean? Who are the Muslims? What is this Quran? Who is this Messenger Muhammad? So to be open-minded, humble-hearted, and send your questions. And that's what we're going to be discussing on this episode of The Deen Show. A question that someone wrote in, and then we're going to discuss this question, turn it into a topic, and from there let you be the judge. See if you can benefit from this. Now, I'm going to go ahead and bring out my next guest, and we'll hit the question, and then let you benefit when we come back on The Deen Show.
Allah, there's only one God and Muhammad is his messenger. Allah, la ilaha illallah. Allah, there's only one God and Jesus was his messenger. Allah, la ilaha illallah.
I don't know why I did that. Maybe it's just to break the ice. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you?
Very good, alhamdulillah.
All right, so for those of you that have never seen The Deen Show, somebody kind of twisted your arm. You're sitting next to a Muslim. He said, come watch this show. I just wish peace upon him. He wished it back upon me. And now we're just here talking about good stuff, peace. Things that can bring you peace is Islam. So we're going to be talking about this question that we got in from a non-Muslim. And this is something that I'm sure a lot of people are out there possibly thinking the same thing. Now remember, we want you to be sincere with yourself as you're listening to this and the advice that we'll give towards the end. The person says, I don't like to be religious because it makes me depressed. I would not be able to live your life. It's boring. Saying that, you know, living Islam is boring. What do you do for fun? Everything is forbidden in Islam. Can't date. Oh. You can't meet your soulmate. You see, there's a lot of, for a Muslim watching, said, man, this person's already, the Muslim's probably laughing. This is, you know, but it's a big misconception that people have, and we're seeing that right here. Come on, you can't go clubbing. God forbid if you miss that Friday, Saturday night at the club, you know, you got to get that VIP card. God forbid if I can't do that. Okay, you can't have an occasional drink. You know, Kool-Aid and orange juice and all the other hundreds of drinks that are out there. That's not enough, but we got to have that Jack on the rocks, huh? Okay, you can't have sex if you feel like it. I just want to get down. So the person's saying, I want to get down when I want to do it. That's a boring life, Eddie. Women in your religion cover from head to toe. There's no freedom at all. I add my own words into this a little bit. It's probably the sisters who are Muslim, which we know that many more women are coming to Islam, probably laughing at this. But the person that's given this question, I'm just adding a little humor to this, but because it's funny to us. But we hope you're still listening. Look, but men can have more wives as long as I know. This is ridiculous, man. It's the best not to follow any religion. I feel sorry for the Muslim females, and etc., etc. They can have more wives, and they put the woman down. And the other final thing is the media. And look at, you know, the terrorism with media and associating Islam with all these things blowing up. Like I said, I really love my life and the things I'm enjoying in it right now. After we all die, we go to heaven anyway. Thank you very much, by the way, for sending this. Forgive me if I was a little sarcastic, because it's funny, because we're going to explain and hopefully clear your mind from all the junk that it's not your fault. If you go on, if you're sincere and you want to know the truth, after you get the truth delivered to you, now you're going to be responsible in front of your Creator. So we're going to talk about this. I hope I translated this or read it right. You can understand what she's talking about.
Sure.
Let's go ahead and talk about this. There's a lot of points here, a lot of misconceptions, but it's something that the average person is thinking.
I think the first comment we have to talk about is that the life of a Muslim, a submissive Muslim, is boring.
Boring, they say.
The fundamental problem in this email isn't one of not being convinced of Islam.
Yeah.
The fundamental problem is that this person is looking at Islam from the point of view of how is it going to serve me. The very fundamental question in Islam is, how do I serve God?
Yes.
And once you come into that submission, you are showered with all sorts of benefits and favors that you couldn't have even imagined. The ultimate one of which is peace with yourself.
Peace.
Now, but still, one of the great scholars of Islam, Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, he talked about the two fundamental obstacles that come in the way of people that want to reach the truth. And he said in Arabic, the words are shubuhat and shahawat. Doubts and desires. Doubts and desires. Some people, they're not sure if this is the truth. If they became sure, they would follow it.
Yeah.
Other people, even if they were made sure it's true, that still wouldn't be enough for them to follow it because they are too addicted to their own desires.
The nightclubs, drinking, all these other...
This laundry list of items, these desires. The thing of it is, in order to truly to be committed to the truth, it's not enough that we share the ideas of what is true and what isn't. Even though at the end of your email you talked about, women having to cover and men getting to have four wives and things like that, which is actually a minor issue. Your major issue, even in your mind, the way you organized your thoughts in your email, your major problem is having to give up what you love. That's your major problem. Then this other stuff, really it's secondary. We could talk about it too, but really we have to try and deal with the major issue. And the major issue is one's own desires, one's own inclinations. Now the thing of it is, religion in our times has almost looked like a casual lifestyle, kind of fashionable kind of thing. Yeah, I'm into this right now and I'll try that out too and I'll try that out too. It's kind of like, changing fashions statements.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Or different music genres. I was into country, now I'm into hip hop or something. It's like a fashionable thing.
Something convenient that you just...
Exactly, it's very casual.
Yeah.
It's very casual. And the idea behind it is, I'm going to do it basically to find some entertainment for myself. Right? It's going to be something curious for me.
That's why you might see a lot of these different places. They got the rock bands and just trying to draw the people in any which way.
Exactly. So a lot of religions, because they're losing their followers, what they're adding is an element of entertainment into the religion, so that people will stick around. Right? So is the reality of the human being that he or she was here to just eat, drink, sleep, have sex, have fun, and die? Is that the purpose of their life? And if that is the purpose of your life, and there is nothing coming, you're saying there's a heaven afterwards. So everybody goes to heaven no matter what they do, no matter how many people they murdered, no matter how many kinds of crimes they did. What kind of God would it be that would let just any of these people get away with their crimes, with all of this injustice that has happened on the earth? And if you would think a little deeply about this and say, no, people that do great, horrible crimes, injustices, have to be punished. Even your own limited intellect tells you this much. Then understand, if you say, well, the stuff that I'm doing is not so bad, when the guy kills somebody, you know what he says to himself? That's not so bad. There's much worse that can be done.
Yeah.
Right? We were talking about relativity of ethics. So the person who's messed up says, there's people far worse than I am. So I shouldn't be worried. Because there's people, if a guy kills one, he says, at least I didn't kill 100.
Yeah.
Right? So this mentality of saying, well, what I'm doing is just enjoying myself. I'm not, there's no consequences of this, is because you've become the judge of what is right and what's wrong. What Muslims are arguing, with all sincerity and humility, is that you and I are not in a position, in the absolute sense, to decide even what is good or harmful for our own selves. Even what's good and harmful for our own selves. We're not in a position to know what is coming ahead of us. No